traditional spot. This is my husband, Aaron Mariash, everybody. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Aaron, fun fact, is the dish doer in our house. Anytime I'm cooking, he's doing dishes, and I love it so much.
I do too.
But we've been married for a while, right?
Yeah, it's going on 8 years.
8 years. Oh my gosh. We had such a good wedding though. I think it was really fun. We had
I had a good time.
Yeah, we definitely took traditional pictures, I would call these. Very basic, very boring.
Yeah.
The amount of laughing, I think our men of honor, that was me signing the contract, you know, very chill. Oh, and then we had a donut wall, which was fun. Also of the time, I feel like. Everyone was into a donut wall.
It's funny how fast things become dated in a way.
Yeah.
Specific, you can pinpoint them in time.
Yeah, you're like, you got married in 2016. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I am so excited. This water's freaking out, so I'm gonna take this lid off. It's ready to get married too. Okay, so before we get into this delicious recipe, I wanted to chat a little bit about why I planned this recipe.
Okay.
Okay, so have you heard of Marry Me Chicken?
I have not.
Okay, don't worry, I'll fill you in.
I'm not on the internet as much as I used to be.
Yeah. So Marry Me Chicken apparently is this chicken recipe that if you make it for your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever, they're gonna wanna marry you after.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did I have a dish that I did for you that made you wanna marry me?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
oh
think
man, that was a quick answer.
I think about it all the time. You dropped it off when I was not at home.
Oh.
It was a pan of your brown butter blondies.
That was it?
That was it. That was the thing, and I got.
That was early.
I know, that was like week 2.
That was real. Whoa, you were in it to win it.
Yeah. Actually, I don't even know if we consider ourselves officially dating then.
No, we were still just hanging out and eating like pitas. We hung out in university. We had we just went for walks. Ate
No
pita.
money, but lots of time.
Lots of time.
Yeah.
Lots of time. We used to study together. It was the most you've ever studied, I think.
It's true.
Because I like studying.
Yeah.
All right, well, I wanted to do a version of this Marry Me Chicken, but as opposed to doing it classic, you're a meatball man.
I am.
So I'm going to do it meatballs.
Perfect.
Sound good?
Delicious.
Okay, and then in this, just like all good marriages, sometimes you got to recoup things and make things work. So I'm going to go back to our very first recipe, the first thing I ever cooked for you.
That you have an issue with.
That I have an issue with, and that is bow tie pasta.
Yeah, I know.
This is my vendetta. I hate bow tie pasta. Do you remember what I made you?
Yeah, it was a bow tie pasta with veggies in it.
Yeah, it was trash. It was so bad. It was gross. Everything tasted bad. The pasta was overcooked and undercooked. So I'm gonna try to repair that bridge.
I don't think there was anything wrong with it, but
You clearly were in love. It's fine. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna have a seat, and then I'm gonna get to work on this recipe.
All right.
He's already done the dishes, so he deserves some food. So to get started, I'm gonna work on my nemesis, bow tie pasta. So this stuff is honestly kind of hard to cook nicely because the outside cooks a lot quicker than the inside. That's kind of my main issue with a bow tie noodle, but they are very cute. They also feel very wedding-y, like you feel a little dressed up when you're wearing them. So I'm gonna pop these into some boiling water. So I'm just making enough for probably about 4 servings here. If you wanted to with this recipe though, you could easily do this with crusty bread as opposed to pasta. That would be delicious as well. Now I am gonna season that water up really, really well because I want those noodles to get seasoned as they cook. I'm using kosher salt here, adding a good few pinches, and that's gonna start cooking up beautifully. So now I'm gonna get to work on those meatballs. So over here in my bowl, I need to make something called a panade. And a panade is just breadcrumbs and milk mixed together. So we need a 1/4 cup of each. This mixture in these meatballs, it's something I add to pretty much every meatball, is it makes them stay really nice and juicy. It holds on to all of the juiciness and deliciousness, but it looks exactly like old leftover cereal. So that is looking perfect, even though it doesn't look super cute yet. But we're gonna start flavoring this up a little bit. So the first thing I'm gonna add in is about 1 cup of grated Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. I've got 2 cups here because I'm gonna use another cup later on. You could also, if you wanted to, add in pecorino. We love pecorino. Any sort of good grating cheese is perfect. So I'm gonna add that on in, as well as an egg. That egg is gonna help bind everything together. It's also gonna give a little bit more protein, a little bit more deliciousness on into here. So toss that in. Give that a little bit of a mix up. That is looking delicious already. Now into there, I'm also gonna toss in a couple tablespoons of some fresh herbs. So over here, I've got some basil, looking beautiful. I'm gonna pop it over here. And I need about 2 tablespoons of that basil and about 2 tablespoons of parsley. Now, if you don't have fresh herbs, you could use dried. if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But we're like trying to impress.
We're wowing with.
We're wowing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do dried meatballs. That sounds gross. Dried herbs for you.
Just add panade and they.
And they rehydrate.
Yeah.
They're space meatballs.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna chop this up. And again, with fresh herbs, I say 2 tablespoons, but you can use as much or as little as you'd like. To be honest, I usually go kind of heavy on fresh herbs because you buy them and then they turn into goo in your fridge. So just use as much as you want. It's just gonna bring delicious flavor. So I'm just gonna add that on into this panade mixture with that egg, with that cheese. Give that a little bit of a mix up to combine. And then I'm gonna add in some cooked down onion and garlic. I've got that going over here. I just cooked that off in a little bit of olive oil, seasoned with some salt and pepper. So I'm just gonna grab that. Yeah, not too hot. Aaron, can you come help me?
Yeah,
Thanks.
sure.
Would you grab that spatula?
Yep.
This is rare. Rarely do you, he's usually just hanging out at the sink grabbing my...
Swooping in and grabbing things when you're done with them.
Our main marital issue is that I'm not done with like a spatula yet and he'll take it to wash it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my man.
I'm just resetting it for you.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna make, thank you so much, that was perfect.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna give this a little bit of a mix together, just to bring it all together. And then into there, I'm gonna add in my meat. So I am using a pound of ground chicken here. So ground chicken is perfect. You could also do turkey, you could do beef if you wanted to, but this is marry me chicken, not marry me beef. It doesn't have the same ring to it, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna toss that right on in. And then if you wanted to, you could add in some spice, add in some salt. Now, grabbing 2 forks, I'm gonna mix this together. So I kind of almost like to kind of toss it together, almost like the world's weirdest salad. It doesn't look cute, but it's a good way to get everything incorporated without overworking things. If you overwork this ground meat, it can get tough, and we don't want that. So just kind of toss it until everything's kind of combined and looking beautiful. And then using a spring-loaded ice cream scoop, I'm just gonna scoop these meatballs out, pop them onto my pan, and then drizzle those with a little bit of oil. This is the easiest way to make meatballs. If you want them kind of rough and scraggly like this, just leave them as is, but if you want to, you could also roll them up in between your hands. So once I get those done, Aaron, do you want to come grab these?
Sure.
Pop them into the oven, the bottom oven, if you will.
Okay.
We're gonna pretend the plate's full. Pop those into the oven at 400 degrees for just 15 to 18 minutes. Then we're gonna broil those for about 2 minutes just for a bit of color on top. While those do their thing, you can have a seat again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm making them stand and sit a lot today. Like a
Working up
Jack
an
in the Box.
appetite.
I know, yeah, you're working it up.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna really quickly start on the sauce. So in my pan that I've got here over about medium heat, I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of butter. And then into there, I wanna add in a bit of garlic. I've got 2 cloves of garlic here that I've minced up that I'm gonna toss on into that pan. And you just want that to cook down until that butter melts, that garlic starts to brown just a little bit for about 30 seconds, and then we're gonna make a roux. So for the roux, add in 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour once that butter's all nice and melted. Toss that in, and you wanna toast this flour off for just about another 30 seconds. Season that up with some salt and pepper, maybe a little bit of pepper in there. And then once that's cooked together for about 30 seconds, I'm gonna whisk in a cup of broth and a cup of whipping cream, because you only give whipping cream to the best people in your life. So you deserve some whipping cream. Sound good?
Thank you.
Okay, so we have got that sauce. It has that chicken stock and that cream in it. It is thickened up because of that roux, and it smells delicious.
Really good.
Listen, the amount of garlic I put in here, you better like the person, because you're gonna have garlic breath, for sure.
I can't wait to go back to the office.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic.
good.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be like, oh my gosh, who smells like garlic? I love it. All right, mystery garlic's always a good smell.
Yeah.
All right, now into there, I'm gonna add in some cheese. So I've got a cup of that grated Parmigiano Reggiano. So we've got a cup in the meatballs, and then I'm also adding this on into the sauce. And that's gonna thicken this up and make it creamy and delicious. Again, if you wanted to, you could do this with pecorino. Any sort of firm cheese would be absolutely beautiful, but I'd stick to like an Italian one. I don't know, something romantic about Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It works.
Yeah.
Buongiorno.
The most romantic cheeses in the world.
See,
come from
exactly,
Italy.
exactly.
Yeah.
You got it. All right, now into there, I'm gonna add in some bright, delicious umami flavor, and that's in the form of sun-dried tomatoes. I've got oil-packed sun-dried tomatoes here, and those have been sliced already. So you can buy them sliced. You don't even have to pick up a knife, which is a total dream. So I'm gonna add about a third of a cup of those right on into that sauce. That gives you deep, delicious tomato flavor without having to do a single thing. So give that a whisk together. And then for a little bit of heat, but we like a lot of heat, you're going in with some chili flakes. So you can do half a teaspoon. We're gonna go in with, want a teaspoon?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. I love it. Okay. Keeping it spicy. Yeah. You can tell I'm very good at flirting. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna add that right on in. Give that a whisk together.
Yeah.
And that is gonna be spicy and delicious. Now for a little bit of brightness, I'm also gonna add in some herbs. But while I do that, do you wanna grab those meatballs from the oven?
I would love to.
Perfect. So I'm gonna chop up another couple tablespoons of those herbs. Just the parsley, and again, that basil. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, he's getting those gloves on. He's getting ready.
Just in case.
Just in case. So we broiled them so they're a little bit golden brown on top. I'm gonna give a nice rough chop to these herbs because I like those big hunks of herbs. How do those look? Ooh, they look beautiful.
They look delicious.
Delicious. All right, I'm gonna swoop over here. This is called the kitchen dance, okay? We do this every day in our home. All right, and then I'm gonna add those meatballs on into this sauce. So we just grab them right off of there, pop them in. Any of these little bits that have kind of cooked around, stick those in as well. That's just pure flavor right there.
It smells so good.
They honestly smell so good. That cheese in there is out of control. Oh my gosh. I feel like you get to get a little meatball snack.
I'm looking forward to it.
I know. This, as I said, this is delicious on a pasta, but you could also do this in some sort of meatball sandwich. Once you're at that point in the relationship where sandwiches are the romantic food, that's what you do.
When you're comfortable being messy around each other.
Yeah, exactly. When you're just covered in sauce. Oh, what a dream. Honestly, that's where you want to get to in a relationship, in my personal opinion. The part where you're just like, hey, how's it going? We're eating on the couch. All right. Would you bring me one of those bowls, that bowl over there? This looks so creamy and so delicious.
My goodness.
Absolutely out of control. I'm gonna pop my biggest nemesis, bow tie pasta, onto the plate. Again, you could do this with a bun, crusty bread. You could just plop this big pan right on the table and just bring bread, dip it in. It'd be a dream.
I just get a big spoon and eat it out of the pan.
Speaking of a big spoon,
There it is.
spoon that right on over top. Those beautiful chicken
my
meatballs. I'm very excited about this, my friend. Extra sauce on there as well with all those herbs. All right, and this is how at the Berg house we say, I like ya.
I like it.
You ready to dig in?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going whole meatball?
I was thinking about it, but then I was like,
I've met him. He likes going whole meatball.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, nice. It's gonna be hot. Good?
That's so good.
New fave meatball. All right.
Delicious.
Okay, this is great. Thanks for doing those dishes.
Thanks for cooking that.
Okay, cool. I'll see you at home.
See you at home.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.